Hello, we're going to talk today about mobile learning. In one way or the other, as a healthcare professionals, we may have had engaged in some form of mobile learning along the way. At the end of this lecture, you should be able to understand what mobile learning is and how you could engage in mobile learning both as a learner and a teacher, and the requirements to produce learning objects that are compatible with mobile learning. There are numerous definitions of what mobile learning is, but simply put, mobile learning is a process by which you could learn while on the move with the use of the mobile technology. What are they? They are intelligent devices like the smartphone and tablets, which are with you at all times, which are connected to the internet continuously, and therefore you could access information and knowledge anytime, anywhere. That, simply put, is what mobile learning is all about. So with this concept of mobile learning in mind, content therefore needs to be designed and created in such a way that it can be accessed easily and quickly by these ubiquitous devices, those that are present at all times with the learners with internet access. So it need not be restricted to text, it can be video, audio, and the way the objects are created, it should be in such a way that the creation of the object must be simple. It must be easily published online for easy access by individuals. So the whole concept of content creation is changed if one is considering mobile learning as the platform of delivery. One of the recent advances in technology has been the creation of the HTML5, which is a coding that allows for content to be displayed in multiple devices equally well and uniformly. And this is allowed for the deployment of content in different platforms and different devices equally well. So the ubiquitous devices are basically the smartphone, the tablet, and the ultra thin laptops that is constantly with an individual. Each one of them have their pros and cons, and most people would use as one of the devices predominantly for the purpose of reading, and another device more for the inputting of data that are large, requiring large amount of keystrokes. And each one has their limitations and attractions. Why do we need mobile learning? Most individuals today have got a mobile device, and it's estimated that 2.1 billion people will have this by 2016. And especially in the healthcare, work-based learning requires the individual to have access to learning materials anytime, any place, anywhere. And therefore, mobile learning allows for this content to be delivered, and contents need not be static pages, as rich content with video and engaging content can be used and delivered for the use of the learner. Everyone is an audience for mobile learning. Anybody who wants to learn today would be a potential for mobile learning, and therefore one has to now design learning systems and courses that can be delivered by mobile learning to make it an efficient process and meaningful for the learner to apply in his day-to-day life. Evidence in the literature shows that for mobile learning to be effective, it has to be very small chunks of information known as nano learning or micro learning, and this allows for learning on the go or on the fly, which is known as just-in-time learning. As and when you need the information, you will access it, and they expect it to be of good quality, that is relevant to their workplace and to their real world, and it has to be in such a way that it is on-demand, self-paced. It can be used as a form of asynchronous learning, but also allow for synchronous learning. Today's learners expecting more and more out of less and less. The workers are mobile, and so are our learners, and therefore they require learning to occur at their own style, pace, and demand. And the technology that will be able to deliver this is the mobile technology, and therefore mobile learning is there for all to accept and embrace. And most institutions today will and are designing their learning programs to be delivered on the mobile platform. Everyone has got some form of a mobile device, if not more than one. Generally, it is said that the digitally competent individual will have minimum of 3 devices. That is, one, a mobile phone, that is smartphone that is able to access the internet, and a tablet for viewing and reading easily the internet, and a laptop or a desktop for work that requires large amounts of input with a keyboard. So, to be able to teach on a mobile platform, there are certain strategies that needs to be followed. The information that is provided has to be compact, relevant, and engaging, and gains the attention of the learner. It is to be such that the mobile workforce or the mobile learner will be able to access it easily. Micro-chunking is required, that is, large amounts of knowledge can be delivered through small chunks over a period of time. It has to be one of push strategy rather than they pulling for knowledge, and simple micro-assessments help in the individual knowing his path of learning, and the use of analytics helps in the creation of a personal learning program, and we will learn more during the program. Therefore, because of the use of the technology, all kinds of pedagogical strategies can be used to teach using the mobile platform. It need not be confined to text. It can be video, audio with interactions, gamification, simulation. Skills can also be taught with the use of specific videos, and higher order thinking can be assessed and taught with the use of branching scenarios within the mobile learning platform. Because of the nature in which the mobile learning occurs, the way the creation of mobile learning content needs to be totally different from that from web-based learning or standard learning. Therefore, it has to be thought in the design of how the learning material will be deployed on a mobile device. And this is crucial for it to be successful. It is not difficult, it is not expensive, as you will learn in the workshop on mobile learning on how one can easily design, deploy a well-constructed learning program using mobile learning platform. So, in creating a mobile learning program, you must have a strategy. You must, as always, understand who your audience is and what's the type of hardware and software technology that's available with the audience and in the environment, having a definite project plan, and ensuring that the content is such that it is rich enough to engage a student and be able to deploy it with the available technology, and what type of applications that will be used to deploy the learning content. Will it be an app, or will it be a native app or a web app? And you must be able to deploy through multiple operating systems, or in a limited cohort of learners, it can be a single operating system. And then the specific development of the content by subject matter experts that comply to the principles of mobile. So what is a web app and a native app? A web app is basically an application that sits on a server and accessed by a web browser using various technologies that makes it compatible with the mobile device. It's easy to use. It's basically a web page that can be easily updated. It allows, with the use of the technology of HTML5, to be able to display itself in low powered devices like the smartphone, and it can be easily created and deployed with some simple tools that are available on the web, and it also requires very little know-how to create these web apps. Whereas a native app is much more expensive to create, but it utilizes the functionalities of the device much more than that of a web app, as it's dependent upon the features of the device, and therefore it allows for much rich and more engaging experience as compared to the web app. Here are some of the examples of various apps and native apps that's been created. You can go to them and have an understanding of the various apps. You yourself will be familiar with some of the apps which are very much more based on your device and allows you to access information and functionality based on your device, as compared to a mobile web where you're required to go to the website through your mobile device. And we will learn during this course how you could combine the two and produce something that is usable, that is friendly, and that is cost effective. This has been an introduction to the concept of mobile learning. Hopefully this would spur you to explore more into the concept of mobile learning, and the rest of the workshop will teach you how you as a learner and a teacher will be able to create engaging open educational resources that can be deployed on available platforms to create mobile learning. Thank you.